Good morning, Texoma. I'm Ashley Fitzwater. This Sunday morning, we're taking an inside look at the National Association of Christian Women Entrepreneurs, or NACWE. It is a group of women who are truly networking and connecting to grow their businesses, and they're doing it all through this organization that was started by a local woman. Joining me now is the CEO and founder, Diane Cunningham. And Diane, thank you so much for being here today. We're so excited to really jump into this. So let's get started. Can you just tell us a little bit about the business and really how you got started and where you are today?
Well, sure. I actually started the National Association of Christian Women Entrepreneurs because I knew I needed something like this. I was a life coach, a life purpose coach, a speaker. I had an office here in Wichita Falls. I worked with a lot of women. Many of you might have seen me out and around speaking at an event. And I knew I felt isolated, Ashley, and I really wanted to connect with other women. And this was before Facebook and a lot of the social media. And so I just thought, well, what can I do to help people come together? And this ended up being the result of that, which there's a lot of in between that happened. But I created it because there's women that need connection, need support, training to build their business.
You hear that, it seems time and time, that networking is so key in any business and anything that you do, correct? Just meeting people and getting your name out there, basically.
Yes. I mean, that's exactly how I met you just a few weeks ago. That's how I've met every single person that's become a member of the association. I knew when I moved here to Wichita Falls in 2006 that I wanted to get connected right away. And so I joined the Chamber of Commerce. I got really busy. I went to every luncheon event I could. I connected everywhere that I could possibly find to go. And the networking was crucial, was key to my building my business.
It's been just 2 years, correct, since this actually got started, and it's really just kind of taken off. So can you tell us where you started back in May of 2010 and now celebrating that 2-year mark and where you are today?
Well, it's been a wild ride, as you can imagine. In the last 2 years, we've had a live conference in Dallas, our first year, and then we just finished up our virtual conference. And women from all over the United States are members, and Canada.
Wow.
We even have a member in the UK. And so we've really expanded through social media. We've expanded through just the power of online marketing. I do a lot of online marketing. I do a lot of YouTube. I do a lot of blog talk radio. And in that first year, 165 women joined.
Wow.
And so it was just really, as we say in my world, a God thing. And women heard about it from a friend or a connection, and they said, well, I know I need that. I want to get plugged in.
That is so exciting that something right here, you know, in our area has taken off and become, you know, a national outreach, basically, or even worldwide, I guess you could say. So that is really awesome. And you know, you said there is absolutely a Christian connection here. So what would you say that it was a God-inspired thing that kind of led you to do this, and a leap of faith that caused you to step out? I mean, that seems like, you know, a big risk, of course, to step out and start your own business and want to make these connections. So.
Yeah, it's huge. I mean, to start a business at all is a big leap for anybody. I highly recommend, in fact, I was there this morning, the Small Business Development Center here at Wichita Falls at the MSU, because they can help you in a different way than I can help you. But it was a God thing. It was something I believed in, I thought about, and then I did take the leap. God gave me the exact combination of gifts in order to make this thing work, or else it wouldn't be working. And so I've stepped into that. Sometimes that is a scary place to be, and sometimes I have to take a step back and go, what am I doing? You know, how did I get here? And then I have to, you know, just forge forward.
Yeah.
And just really trust. I have to trust the process. I have to trust that I'm gonna make a lot of failures along the way. I'm gonna have a lot of successes, and that's really what I teach the members. Is the faster you fail, the closer you're gonna get to the success.
It's actually good news then, huh?
It is.
You know, good things are around the corner.
Yeah,
then.
there was a lot of failures before we succeeded this well.
And so your mission, of course, to inspire women, teaching them to dream big, and I understand your goal here, change the world basically through these women and their businesses. And I just think that's awesome, and I think it's so great how it's actually started right here. Now, what has been the best part, or maybe, you know, what have you learned? What's the biggest thing that you've taken away from this so far?
That it's all about people. It's about that. The 3 words that we have on our website, and really our mantra, is connect, create, and collaborate. And that's really what we are all about all the time. We're about connecting with each other, heart to heart. We're about creating something new, whether that's a cupcake or a marketing plan or a support group or a dog training business or creating a friendship. And then the third C is the collaborating. I can do more by connecting with you than I could do by myself. So all of those things put together is really part of what I believe in, part of my mission, and I get to live my mission every single day of my life, which is really exciting for me.
Absolutely. And so you are taking this, basically though, this business, this organization, whenever a new business steps in, can you kind of just, maybe give us a 30-second walkthrough of what happens and, how that could really benefit them by joining?
Sure. Yeah, when a new member joins, what happens is there's a lot of automatic processes that happen. They get the success guidebook that gets sent out to them by my fulfillment company. They get a book in the mail. They get instant access to our private Facebook group, which is phenomenal. In that group is people connecting, asking questions, prayer support. So there's a lot of that, and then I welcome them. I announce them on Facebook, and you might have seen me do that already in the last couple of weeks. I announce them, and really that helps everybody else find them.
Sure.
So because I've got a large following. So we really kind of just welcome them through the door, hug them, and get them busy. And then they can tune in to any of our old calls. We've got everything archived. We get it transcribed. We have it MP3. So they can get plugged into everything we've done in the whole last 2 years. And
so
then
they're not missing out on anything.
You really don't miss anything. It's all right there for them instantly.
And I love it. So just tips basically as well, rider advice or anything that you need, helping is what you're providing basically.
Right.
Like
they can
if I
ask
needed help in
any
my
question.
business, then
they can ask any question about how to do an email newsletter, about how to get plugged in on social media, anything.
Well, I love it, and we are actually going to speak with a couple of women who are also part of this, so stick around, Texoma. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with more Inside Texoma after this. Welcome back to Inside Texoma. Once again, we are talking about NACWE, the National Association of Christian Women Entrepreneurs. Now, joining us now is also Kathy Best. She is a speaker, an author, and a writer, all part of Transformations for Women. So, Kathy, thank you so much for also joining us just to talk about your connection to, of course, NACWE and what it is that you do. So if you can just start by talking a little bit about Transformations.
Okay, thank you. Transformations for Women is a ministry designed to help women go through a 3-month study that helps them find themselves, because a lot of times women can turn into these places in their lives that are dysfunctional. They may not realize they're dysfunctional because that is the only thing that they have ever known. So what Transformations for Women does, we take the lies out and we replace it with God's truth. So it is really a 3-month scripture study designed for women to realize that they were created by God. We take them through their pain, explain to them the why it is there, and we teach them their true value, where it comes from. We also look at biblical boundaries, codependency, healthy conflict, and recognizing safe versus unsafe characteristics in people. All of these things can sabotage us, and what I like to say is, this is our house. What do we allow in our house? Well, we want to allow the truth in our house and get rid of the lies so that we can shine for every other woman out there, for our soulmates, for our children, our co-workers, etc., etc., etc.
What was the passion and the drive behind, what you've started through Transformation for Women?
It started actually probably around 1998. I was the coordinator for a recovery ministry here in town, and I did that. I coordinated that ministry, I think, until about 2004, and it all fell apart. A new pastor came into the church, and because of budgets, etc., we had to cut that ministry. And since I had been involved with that ministry from the beginning, I didn't know what else to do with my life.
Sure.
And I also feel that this is a calling. I was a wee bit devastated, we might say. And then Diane and I, we connected, and I mean, it has just gone full speed ahead ever since. I met with her last January, and we met here in town, and she had her computer, but and she put in a few notes, but basically what we did was we sat down over coffee, and she said, "Tell me what is going on with you." And I told her, I said, "Well, I feel like a failure. I know that I have this calling and this need to do what I do in women's lives, and I don't know what to do with this, because where do I do this now?"
Sure.
And she took a napkin, and she just started writing things down on this napkin, and by the time, we were there for less than an hour, and we had a business plan. And I went through your mastermind marketing class, and I met some wonderful women who were also NACWE members at that time. So I became a NACWE member. I went through her mastermind marketing class, and in June of that very same year, I had obtained a website, my business cards, my headshots, all of the things that are important to get us out there, and started a pilot program. And after the pilot program was over, we held a launch, and she was there with me. She spoke, and she's my cheerleader. And we signed up, at that time, I had enough women signed up for 6 different groups.
Wow.
And from that point forward, I've just been going on and going on and going on. I think so far to date, I have had 9 separate support groups, and I have seen 4 women one-on-one.
And this all started an hour meeting, so
yes,
definitely you can you can see that there is a talent here, and you know how you mentioned, went back to a God-inspired gift here that's being shared with other women, and I love how it's just really grown, and already nearly 200 women are benefiting, and I know that just carries on into now all these other women that you're seeing. So how is it, Diane, just stepping back and saying, wow, I was in this place, I took this leap of faith, and look at all the lives through just this one story that have now been touched because of that leap of faith. I mean, is that what encourages you to now be able to share that with others and give them that hope?
Yeah, it really just actually makes me want to cry right now, because I forget. Sometimes it's easy to forget what the trickle effect and the ripple that is happening, and to see it and hear it and remember our time at the coffee with the frantic little notes. I'm like, okay, here's what we got to do. I mean, we were just going to town that day, and what has happened since then and all the other lives that have been changed is a miracle. Yeah. It's good. It makes me happy.
That's so incredible, and I just think it's great, what each of you women do, and like you said, just stepping out there and have enough confidence to start your business, whatever it may be, and having some help and that networking connection behind it just really kind of makes it all come full circle. So that's amazing. Any last thoughts you want to leave with us, or maybe the women and even men, sitting at home thinking, I have this idea, I have this plan, and I need to take that next step?
The thing that I would tell them is do exactly, what I have done, and that is connect. She knows what she is doing, and she has helped me through NACWE and these connections. One of the members built my website. Another one helped me write my first story, and it's published in a book now. And they're our cheerleaders. They encourage us, and really and truly, it becomes more like a sisterhood. Yeah. And I mean, women need women.
Yeah. I could definitely see that. Just the connections there in your business, but also your lives. Your personal friendships formed as well. So, well, Kathy, thank you so much for sharing your story and all that you do. We're of course going to put links to Kathy's website for Transformation for Women at our website, newschannel6now.com. All you have to do is click on Inside Texoma, and we'll take you straight there. Stay with us. More Inside Texoma is after